And with that being the case, I really believe that the Patriots will win the game. It doesn't matter which receiver breaks out. It breaks out somewhere. I do know this. The Falcons had better not play soft zone against against Tom Brady and the Patriots receiver. You want to play the Patriots receivers, you've got to get up and play them physically. You must. You can't give Hogan room, and he's been the man of late, but then again, it could be Amendola, and more often it's Edelman. And, of course, sometimes it's been Bennett, who's a backup because Gronkowski's not even there. Again, they just plug somebody in. It almost doesn't matter. They get the productivity regardless, right? That's kind of who they've been, what they've done, and that's why they're in the position they're in as we speak. So to me, it comes down to which team can slow the other team down. The Patriots can run the ball pretty well. They're not a one-dimensional team by any stretch.
Jefferson.
So again, I see them as being the team to beat here. And then the last part of that is they've been there before. And I do think that matters in this matchup. I still think the Falcons are good enough to make a very good game of this, and I think it's going to be a good game. I sure hope it is, because that's all anybody wants to see is a good game. 504-556-9696 to join us. Chris is in Jefferson. Chris, thanks for your patience, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, Ken, I just got one quick question for you about the firings of Damian Craig and Jabbar Jaluk.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Do you think it was fair, and did it have anything to do with losing some players to Alabama in the recruiting process? And I know Ed has a right to do it, but what do you think about it? Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for the call, Chris. Yes, it has everything to do with recruiting. Those were moves clearly born of recruiting for the most part. It wasn't just that they lost players to Alabama. They lost a key recruit at the last day to Auburn. They lost another key recruit to Mississippi State. And they lost one to Florida State in Wilson. Not just the guys they lost to Alabama. They still had a top 10 recruiting class, so let's not get crazy about this. And they did have turnover, and it's tough in the midst of a turnover season in a coaching staff to maintain your recruiting integrity. I think overall they did a pretty good job, but
Welcome to Brother Martin Basketball on WGSO, 990 AM at WGSO.com and through SportsNola.com. Brother Martin Crusader Basketball is brought to you by Brother Martin High School, a Brothers of the Sacred Heart institution educating young men in outstanding fashion. 4401 Elysian Fields Avenue in New Orleans. Visit BrotherMartin.com to learn more. Brother Martin Basketball is also presented by Eye Care Associates and Dr. Lenny Sumich, class of 1990. By Dave's Pharmacy and Dave Donjai, class of 1978. And by Sal Mercado Law Firm and Sal Mercado, class of 1988. Now, let's head live for the call of the game with the voice of the Crusaders, Ken Trahan of WGSO, 990 AM, WHNO TV 20, and SportsNola.com. And former Brother Martin head coach, Bill Gallagher, class of 1971.
From Bob Conlon Gymnasium, it's Brother Martin Crusaders basketball. As this evening, the Crusaders battle the Archbishop Rummel Raiders. And a pleasant good evening to you. Ken Trahan, joined by the coach, Bill Gallagher, for this key District 9 5A contest. Second time they've played this year. And first and foremost, I want to welcome Bill back. It's great to have you back, Coach. And our thoughts and prayers continue to be with your wife. Tell us about how she's doing.
Oh, she's doing just fine. We made it out of the hospital over the weekend. She went back to work later this week, and things seem to be looking up. So appreciate all the thoughts and prayers.
Well, it's good to have you back, and in time for an important district match tonight between a Brother Martin basketball team that's playing just terrific. Brother Martin comes in with a record of 20-6 overall. They are 7-1 and first in the Catholic League, and they've won 13 of their last 14 games. This is a team that's found its legs, found its consistency, and found its mojo. They're just playing good team basketball.
Well, it's something that Chris Beal has talked about all year long, about the chemistry, finally getting together with the football players coming out, and not only has that taken place, but some other guys have stepped up to the plate when they've needed, and they've become a really good team. There's not one outstanding player on the team. You don't have the scorer that they go to so much, but they've got balanced scoring night in, night out, and it's always different guys.
Well, Brother Martin has mentioned a 20-6, 7-1 overall. The first meeting of the year was on January 10th in Metairie, and Brother Martin won that game 62-55. They forced 24 turnovers that evening. Points. Tyler Lowley had 16, and Bijan Wallace had 16 points and 15 rebounds, along with 4 steals in the game. He was the primary reason Brother Martin won that basketball game. Ashkan Stam led Rummel with 16 points. Shahid Reese had 10, and Dante Mitchell had 10 for Rummel. But the bottom line on that night, Bill, was that Brother Martin really got into Rummel defensively and forced a whole bunch of turnovers.
Yeah, it was one of the better defensive games they've played. We've seen them a couple of times this year where they've struggled a little bit in the half-court defense. But that night, their half-court defense was rolling. That full-court pressure that they employed was really working well. And the defense was really the difference in the game.
Of course, when you talk about Brother Martin, you're talking about a balanced effort, a team that gets efforts from pretty much everybody they put on the floor. Trace Willing, the leading scorer, at 13.3 points per game. Tyler Lowley at 12.4 points a game. The freshman Devon Moore averaging 9.6 a game. Bijan Wallace at 9.5 points, but also 9.4 rebounds per contest. Tyler Epps at 8.4 points a game. And then Jeremy Singleton and TJ Small averaging close to 5 points a game for the Crusaders coming in. As for the Rummel Raiders, they come in with a record of 15-11. They are 3-4 in District 9 5A, as mentioned. Brother Martin beat Rummel the first time around. Brother Martin's coming off of an impressive win over Shaw. Tuesday night, Rummel's coming off of a win over Shaw as well. 72-45 was the win for Rummel over Shaw. Rummel's leading scorer, Imad Fazan, has been out of action. He's got a knee injury, and that's a big blow to Rummel because he's their leading scorer, and that really cripples them to not have a guy averaging right at 16 a game.
Yes, and they're missing a couple of other guys for various reasons. Their bench is going to be really taxed tonight, tested tonight. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, how much pressure defense Rummel is able to play tonight, missing Fazan and missing a couple other guys. They're really thin right now.
Well, their tight end in football, who has contributed to this basketball team on their front line, who gave them size and strength inside, David Mosley, has quit the team to focus on football, signed with Nicholls State to play football, and Godspeed to him. Talked to him on signing day earlier this week, and as a result, Rummel's, as you mentioned, they're thin, and they're going to start a freshman at guard in this game in That is the first start he'll get in a varsity game in Cade Rivera. And he was really good in the freshman game tonight, but that's a big leap forward.
That's a different speed, that freshman game and the varsity game. Preliminary warm-ups, Rummel only had 7 players out there. They got a couple of kids from the JV that are dressing out also, but it's going to be tough. And Chris Beal, if he follows suit, which I'm sure he will, he's going to have 10 or 11 guys in the game before the first quarter is over.
Yeah, I think that's one thing to watch tonight is can Brother Martin wear down Rummel in the process of the pressure they put on him continuously. Brother Martin knows they have to show up and play because a year ago in this gymnasium, Archbishop Rummel came in and beat the Crusaders 67-64 in overtime and really outworked Brother Martin that night, which is why they won the game. They really had the lead throughout, and Brother Martin got it to overtime, but Rummel was able to finish. But then Brother Martin avenged that loss, went to Rummel and won by 17 points, and they've really controlled the series in recent years. But Chris Beal knows this is a dangerous Rummel team.
Well, it is. Now, on one hand, you've got 2 teams that seem to be, on paper, going in kind of in different directions. Rummel's struggling, Brother Martin's hitting their peak, but it's a Catholic League game. It's Brother Martin and Archbishop Rummel. Yes, we've controlled the series the last few years, but that's not to say those games were easy. That game last year, a 17-point win for us, that's abnormal. It's not usually that far.
Other 2 things to watch here would be, 1, can the depth of Brother Martin wear Rummel down, and 2, watch the start for Rummel. If Rummel starts well, look out.
Yeah.
They'll be motivated and have confidence because they've kind of been a yo-yo team. They've been really good on some nights and not good at all on other nights.
Exactly. They beat a good Jesuit team in the first round, and Jesuit beat Brother Martin in the first round also. So it's a kind of team that if they start off on a roll, they get that momentum going. And I said before, momentum is hard to guard. If a team is going well, there's not much you can do to stop it. You really got to fight hard.
Yeah, Dante Mitchell, the leading scorer for Rummel, now with Fazan being out. Mitchell at 11.8 points per game, and he would be the only double-digit scorer without Fazan's presence. Ashkin Stam averages 9.7 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 4.9 assists. A much improved player. Aaron Brule averaging 7.3. Shahid Reese averaging 7.1 a game for the Raiders. It's Brother Martin and Archbishop Rummel coming up. We'll take a timeout here. Bill and I will be back with more of our pregame, the starting lineups, and the start of our game in just a moment. You are listening to Brother Martin Crusaders basketball on WGSO 990 AM at WGSO.com and watching live at SportsNola.com.
This is Michael Savage. Join me.
Ken Trahan along with Bill Gallagher. It's Brother Martin and Archbishop Rummel coming up here shortly from Bob Conlon Gymnasium. Stands are filling nicely. Brother Martin band's playing. Rhythm dance team here from Mount Carmel this evening performing. So a festive atmosphere, as we always have, for a district game in this wonderful league, a District 9-5A, otherwise known as the Catholic League. And always a pleasure to be at any games in this particular league. As you look at the power rankings of these teams, the latest power ranking released by the LHSAA had Brother Martin number 5 in Division 1 and Rummel number 12 out of 13 despite their winning record. And why is that for both teams? Well, for Brother Martin, the reason they're not higher is because the wins out of state don't count. And even though they won the St. Pius X tournament in Atlanta, it didn't count for them. And so that's always an interesting dilemma for a coach. Should I go or should I not? And it's a great experience for the kids, and they got better because of it, so you can certainly make that argument. And as for Rummel, despite having a winning record, the reason they're as low as they are is they've lost very close games to good teams, but they haven't won those games, and that's held them back. If you want to improve your power ranking, you can't lose by 1 to St. Thomas More, 2 to St. Paul's, or lose to St. Aug or John Curtis or Brother Martin in your league. You got to win some of those games.
You get better playing those teams, but yeah, you have the way the power system is set up nowadays. You've got to win some of those games, and there's only 13 teams in the playoffs, so they're in the playoffs. But yeah, you want to be higher in that ranking.
So we're getting the introductions coming up here shortly. First, we'll have the invocation followed by the national anthem to get things started, and then we'll have the introductions of the starting lineups.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Creator God, as we gather together this evening, we are mindful of the many gifts that you have given to the Rummel and Brother Martin school faith communities. We thank you for the spirit of cooperation and friendship that you have fostered among our schools. May tonight's competition continue to be done with mutual respect as we pray for our athletes, for their protection from injury, and for the use of their talents. Bless also the coaches, officials, cheerleaders, and fans, that tonight's game will be played in the spirit of good sportsmanship, for the enjoyment of all, and to give honor to you, the giver of all gifts. And we say this prayer through your divine word, in the heart of Christ. Amen. Ameto Cor Jesu, love be the heart of Jesus. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Brother Martin Band with the national anthem here this evening. Let's set the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. First of all, for the visiting Rummel Raiders, 15 and 11, 3 and 4 in the Catholic League under the direction of Troy Holly. Starting at guard is a 6'1" junior Aaron Brule. Starting at guard is a 5'10" freshman Cade Rivera. Also at a guard is a 5'6" senior and Dante Mitchell. Starting at forward is a 6-foot junior Jamar Chase. And starting at center for the Raiders will be a 6'3" senior Ashkin Stam. It'll be Brule, Rivera, Mitchell, Chase, and Stam for the Raiders. For the Brother Martin Crusaders with a record of 20-6, 7-1. And first in the Catholic League under the direction of Chris Beal. Starting at guard is a 5'6" freshman, Devon Moore. Starting at guard is a 6'2" senior, Trey Swilling. Also at guard, a 6-foot junior, Tyler Lally. Starting at the center position for Brother Martin is a 6'3" senior, Bijan Wallace. And the fifth starter for Brother Martin. I'm missing the fifth starter. That is boom. That's him, Jeremy Singleton. So there's Jeremy Singleton, my bad. So Jeremy Singleton, a 6'1" senior, completes the starting lineup for the Crusaders. So once again for Brother Martin, it will be Moore, along with Swilling, Lally, Wallace, and Singleton. As we get set for action, Rummel wearing their scarlet red road jerseys, white numerals trimmed in Columbia blue. And that's frankly a good look for Rummel. That's their colors. And oftentimes they wear the Columbia blue uniforms, but they're wearing the red tonight. Brother Martin wearing their home whites. And of course the garnet and gold as a familiar sight at home for the Crusaders. Bijan Wallace will jump center against Ushkin Stam to get things started here this evening from Rod Conlon Gymnasium.
Brother Martin needs to be careful tonight because sometimes an injured animal is the most dangerous. Rummel's hurting.
Stam wins the chip to Brule. We're underway, and Mitchell will bring it up for Rummel with pressure picked up at the timeline. Again, they turned Rummel over 14 times the first time they played. Here's Jamar Chase, good athlete off the drive, all the way to the sack. He's too strong, though. Rebound fought for, and Brother Martin will come out of there with it on the run. Singleton, good pass ahead to Swilling. And he'll jump it from 7. He's no good, and the rebound tipped around and gotten back by Swilling. Swilling back out top to Moore. Ball bounce pass down low to Wallace. Scramble for the ball. Wallace comes up with it, puts it on the floor, and he's going to be tied up, I believe. Are we going to get a foul?
I think we're getting a foul from the referee in the back.
Looked like a tie ball from this vantage point. Did they call a foul? On Mitchell, his first, team foul number 1. Brother Martin will keep the ball as a result. Here's Wallace. Cross-court pass Singleton. Singleton off the dribble. Wallace, dribble drive, stops, pops from 5, and he'll miss it badly, and the rebound controlled by Chase. And Jamar Chase the other way for Rummel. In the middle, turned over, stolen away. Here comes Wallace. Wallace drives. Wallace uncontested for the basket. And Brother Martin jumps on top. Bijan Wallace, the star of the first game, comes up with a steal. He had 4 steals in the first matchup. He's got one here, and Brother Martin breaks on top.
He's been a really good all-around player for them so far this year. Rebounding, shooting, playing a great defense.
And right away, careless ball handling by Rummel, which killed him the first time. There's a freshman, Rivera, getting his first varsity start to Chase. Dribble drive, which is what he does well, and a nice job of knocking it away. Loose on the floor, Brule picks it up. Out top, Mitchell for a straightaway 3. That's a brick, but it's rebounded by Stam. Stam hook pass to Brule, dribble drive, and he'll score. Stam with the offensive rebound, and a good job to get the ball to Brule, who ties the game at 2.
Nice take by Brule off that pass. A nice pass,
dribble drive all the way to the sack. Moore lost it out of bounds, though, and a turnover, Brother Martin. Rummel's not short on athletes. It's a matter of being short in terms of depth tonight without their leading scorer and with another key player that left the team.
Yeah, that's why they're still dangerous. The players that they've got are still the good players.
Here's Dante Mitchell front court. Left-hand dribble. Bounce pass down low to Brule. Nice spin move, but he misses the layup. And the rebound is controlled by Wallace. Point-blank opportunity there, but unable to convert. Rummel got what they wanted. Here comes Brother Martin the other way in a tie game with 6 minutes to play in the first. Devon Moore picked up by Mitchell. Near the timeline. Moore looks for the high pick. Right corner pass Singleton to Moore. Here's Moore off the dribble drive. Back to Singleton right corner. Singleton guarded by Chase. Will jump it from 15. He's too strong. And the rebound. Stam got it for Rummel. And clears it to Chase. Chase dribble drive. Nice penetration of Brule. He'll put it up and he'll draw the 2-shot foul. A nice dribble penetration by Chase created the opportunity. And that will result in free throws. Tyler Lally the foul. That's his first. Team foul number 1 on Brother Martin. And Aaron Brule to the line for Rummel to shoot 2.
It's been a good start for Rummel. They've missed a couple of shots, easy shots, but they're moving the ball well. They're playing with their heads up, playing hard so far. Now they got a chance to take the lead from the free throw line.
Well, in the first matchup, Brother Martin was the better team, but Jamar Chase had a bunch of opportunities in the paint and went 1 for 11 in that game. First free throw good by Brule to give Rummel its first lead. He's got all 3 points. 2 sports star. He is a blue chip Division I football player who's got all kinds of Division I offers, a junior. And he played safety and then was moved down the middle linebacker. He's some athlete. Second free throw by Aaron is good. He's got all four, and Rummel's up 4-2. Its first lead at the 5:33 mark. Here's Devon Moore front court, picked up by Mitchell. Stutter step, now to Swilling. Left side pass Singleton at the elbow. Singleton dribbles to the top. Behind the back, maintains the dribble, penetrates, got to the sack, lays it up right-handed, no good, put back, no good, rebound Chase for Rummel. Jamar Chase lost it and turned it over. Jeremy Singleton to steal, but then he crossed the timeline and turned it right back over.
Well, you're talking about the good athletes on the Rummel side. You got 3 Division I football signees that are on the floor right now for Brother Martin.
Yeah, that's you look at both of these schools. They're very similar in that regard. Rummel will play Shaheed Reese shortly, and he's also a Division I signee in football. I mentioned Mosley. He quit the team most recently, another college football signee. So these teams always have 2 sport players, probably more than any others in the district.
Probably so. I think you're right.
Here's Brule, dribble drive. Nice move, and he's fouled. He'll shoot 2. So Brule has been the man for Rummel early in this game.
He's keeping them in the game right now. He's doing a good job of it.
Trey Swilling commits the foul. Speaking of football players, and that's the first on Swilling, the second on Brother Martin. Brule to shoot 2. He's got 4 points a game. Congratulations to Trey Swilling, who signed with Georgia Tech, as did Bruce Jordan Swilling. Free throw in and out by Brule. He'll shoot another. Jeremy Singleton inking with Houston.
Bijan
Wallace with Houston Baptist as well. Dylan Walker getting an opportunity. Congratulations to Dylan, too. Second free throw good by Brule. He's got 5, and it's a 5-2 game with Rummel on top of the 4:55 mark, and they're pressuring full court. Here's Moore. Calls a play with one hand, dribbles with the other. Rummel backs off.
It'll be interesting to see how long Rummel stays in that full court pressure.
Here's Swilling against Brule. Good matchup. Bounce pass left block. There's a good matchup. Wallace kicks it back out top to Moore. Moore off the drive, stops, free throw line jumper, and that's no good. Kind of conceded the shot to him, played off of him, and Stam rebounds. Stam's third board already. Here's a pass front court thrown away out of bounds. That's another careless turnover by Rummel, and that's 3 for them. That's what killed them in the first game. Those aren't forced turnovers. Those are just mistakes.
No, that's not even, Brother Martin doesn't even have a chance to really play defense right there. Just threw it out of bounds.
And 4:30 to play in the first. 5-2 Raiders. Devon Moore out top, across the formation. Now the right elbow to the free throw line extended. Left corner pass Singleton. Goes baseline. Cut off by Chase in the lane of Moore. Nice pass Wallace. He'll jump it from 5. He's short, and the rebound controlled by Mitchell for Rummel in traffic. Contested, had it knocked away out of bounds, and they're going to say Brother Martin basketball. Turnover by Mitchell. So the 4th turnover by Rummel.
A big difference between this first quarter and the first quarter of the last time they played each other. I believe the score was 20-17 at the end of the first quarter.
That was high scoring.
Settled down after that.
Nice move by Lally. Clear space for 3, but he's airballing it, and Mitchell has another rebound. Right now, Rummel is controlling play, but they've turned it over too much to really get any opening in this game. Long 3, that's really too far by Mitchell, and rebounded by Singleton. For the Crusaders on the run. Jeremy maintains his dribble, and now gets it back to Moore with 3:43 to play in the first. 5-2 Rummel on top. A slow start for both teams, really. Bounce pass Singleton right side, goes baseline on Chase. Nice bounce pass to Wallace, and fouled by Stam. He'll shoot 2. Stam looks around like, I got the ball, but you probably got a little bit of the arm.
Nobody ever looks at that or the body. They're always looking at the ball. A good referee doesn't look at the ball. He's looking at everything.
First on Ashkin, and the second team foul on Rummel, and here is Bijan Wallace at the line to shoot a pair. He's got the only 2 points of the game for Brother Martin. He's the glue to this team, and he buries the first free throw, and he's really a good free throw shooter. His free throw shooting against John Curtis was clutch, and he made everything. And now a substitution for Brother Martin. Tyler Epps, who led them in scoring against Rummel the first time, replaces Jeremy Singleton. Second by Wallace is perfect, and it's a 5-4 game at the 3:32 mark.
Epps is going to give Brother Martin a little more outside shooting and a little more quickness on defense.
Rivera under pressure, got it to Mitchell. Dribble penetrates, he lost it. Another turnover, and Lally has it for Brother Martin. It's 5 turnovers for Rummel, and here's a layup on the other end by Trey Swilling to give Brother Martin the lead, and Troy Holly, disgusted, calls a timeout. Well, it's an instant replay of what we saw the first time.
Yeah,
just turnover after turnover.
Turnover after turnover. Brother Martin just got behind the defense, the Rummel defense on that last possession right there. Swilling snuck behind. We got a good outlet pass down to him. Got the basket. Rummel has to call that first timeout.
with 3:17 to play in the first. 6-5 Brother Martin. In some cases, it's defensive pressure resulting in turnovers. In some cases, it's just careless with the ball.
I think it's the anticipation of the defense also. Rummel's looking for that pressure defense to come, and sometimes all you got to do is just give a good fake, and they're going to throw the ball away. That's what's happening.
One of the things we've seen from Brother Martin is every time the freshman Rivera's touched the ball so far, they've doubled him. But so far, he's not turned the ball over.
Well, we had a little trouble before the game trying to get starting lineups because each coach wanted to see who the other guy was starting. There's a little chess match there.
Here's a zone trap. Rummel breaks it to Stam. Nice pass and a layup by Chase. They broke that beautifully. That's how you draw it up. Chase off the assist from Stam. Quickly the other way. Here's Moore on a stutter step move. Nice bounce pass to Wallace. Fumble, got it back. He's still got a point-blank shot if he wants it, but doesn't take it. Now to Moore. Penetration, left corner. Epps passed up the shot. Surprised. Now back to Swilling, and they reset.
Brother Martin's not shooting very well, and then misses are really bad misses. That may have been why Epps passed it up, looking for a better shot.
Here's Epps again with space, and again didn't shoot it. They changed on him, and so he kicks it to Lally for a long three. That's off. Rebound, block out nice by Rummel, and Mitchell has it. His third rebound of the game. Mitchell to Rivera. Rivera kicks it back out top, and they restart. Here's Brule. Brule behind the back. Nice move. Nice move to the paint. He missed the layup, though, and the rebound and a foul on Rummel, I believe. I mean, he did everything beautifully, and he couldn't finish.
Everything but results. Everything but results. Had a point-blank shot right in the lane. Just couldn't finish it.
Got to drive Troy Holly nuts, as they've had some point-blank opportunities again tonight as they did in the first game and could not finish. So it's one thing to get there, but you've got to be able to convert.
When they haven't turned the ball over, they've done real well.
They look pretty good offensively.
They just haven't been able to finish, and that's pretty frustrating.
Here's Devon Moore, the brilliant freshman for Brother Martin, out top to Epps. Dangerous long-range shooter. Epps, good dribble drive. A runner, no good, but he's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot two. Good move by Tyler Epps. We'll earn him a couple of free throws. That's on Chase, and that's his first. And the fourth on Rummel at the 2:01 mark of the first quarter. And here's Tyler Epps to shoot a pair. 8.4 points per game. He's 65% from the free throw line on the year. Looking for the tie with his first, and he's done so. Brother Martin will come back with Jeremy Singleton, and he'll replace Tyler Lally. So we're tied at 7, and now Epps will shoot for the lead. Has it up, has it in, and Brother Martin's up 8-7. 4 lead changes already. 2:01 to play in the first. Full court pressure. And they get it to the freshman Rivera. A good ball handler. Right side Stam. Stam spins away from one, but too much dribbling, and he's lost it on the floor, and he threw it away. I mean, you don't want your postman dribbling 35 feet from the basket.
He didn't have control of it. Bounced right off his knee. Went out of bounds. A forced error because of the defensive pressure, but just a sloppy ball handling.
Well, you don't. Again, you don't want to try to dribble through double team with your center 30 feet away. That's part of the problem. And give Brother Martin a lot of credit for the double team pressure.
They're forcing this action, no question about it.
6 turnovers for Rummel already, so this is very much like the first meeting to this point in that regard. The only difference in this game is neither team has converted its offensive opportunities like we saw in the first game. Because in that first matchup, Stamp came out like a house of fire, scored like 11 straight, and then Brother Martin got red hot and scored like 9 straight at the end of the quarter to take a lead they would not relinquish.
Once again, the point-blank misses by Rummel has really made this game, made a difference in this game from being them having a much bigger lead.
Here's Epps out top. Epps, left side pass, Swilling, tried to square up at Brule. Nice defense. Swilling pulls away from 10, back rim, bounces high off the rim and drops through. You talk about shooter's touch. He's got 4, and it's 10-7 Crusaders with their biggest lead at the 127 mark. Mitchell being hounded by Swilling. Got it across and hands it to Stam, and now we're going to get another turnover by Rummel. Just stepped out of bounds. And that's 7 turnovers for the Raiders, and they have no chance to win this game at that pace.
This is remarkable that this is happening. I mean, it's every kind of turnover that can happen. It's really uncanny.
I mean, just stepped out of bounds.
Just stepped out of bounds. I don't even know if that was due to the defense right there. He just stepped out of bounds.
And now Bruce Jordan Swilling has wanted to come in for Brother Martin, but they're going to make him wait. After the dead ball, Chris Beal throws his towel, said, why not? It was a dead ball. Didn't let him in the game, so Bruce has to wait. There's Lally. Here's Epps front court. Right side to Singleton. Singleton crosses over, now goes out top to Wallace at the high post. Wallace dribbles, turns, shoots from 5. It rolls in. Nice move by Bijan Wallace. He's got
touch.
6. And Brother Martin has got a run going now. They're on a 6-0 run to take a 12-7 lead with under a minute to play in the first, starting to assume control. Here's Stam in front court. Stam off the dribble, and they're going to call another turnover on an offensive foul on Stam, and that's going to be his second. And he's going to have to sit, and they have no size behind him, and that's the 5th team foul on Rummel, and that's 8 turnovers for Rummel in the first quarter.
Well, Rivera came out of the game right there, and Stam is staying in right now. I don't know if Troy really has much choice in the keeper.
Well, he's got 2, so they did make a substitution, but they took Rivera out, and they brought in Shaheed Reese with 44 seconds to play in the first. Brother Martin on a 6-0 run. Bruce Jordan Swilling did check in. Goes right side to Singleton. Singleton crosses over, got to the paint, picks up the bounce. Left corner pass Swilling. Pulls up, he'll shoot the 3. Swilling's no good. Back rim controlled by Brule. With 25 seconds to play in the quarter, Rummel might play for 1 shot. The way they've been offensively, it might not be a bad idea.
If they could hold on to the ball.
No kidding. Here's Chase spreading the floor. It goes to Shaheed Reese. Reese hands it back to Stam. Way out top now to Mitchell. Left side to Chase. 10 seconds to play in the quarter. Chase goes baseline, double team. Pass knocked out of bounds nicely by Swilling. With 6 seconds left, Rummel maintains possession.
I do like what Rummel was doing there for that last shot. Instead of just having somebody at the top of the key, by the mid-circle, just wasting the time on the clock, they tried to run something. I like that much better.
Zomjan checks in for Brother Martin along with L.J. Gilliard. So Blake and L.J. in for the Crusaders. 6 seconds left. Inbounds pass Chase. Nice fake. Fakes again. Put it up, and before he shot it, he traveled. So it's another turnover. That's 9 on Rummel. Count them. 9. And Brother Martin now could get the last shot with 3.3 seconds left, so they come back in with offense with Moore and Swilling. Good moves by Chris Beal.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot of guys in this first quarter already.
Swilling will bring it in bounds on the run to Moore with 2 seconds. With 1 second. Left corner, got it off in time. Missed it. So at the end of 1, it is Brother Martin 12 and Rummel 7. Back with our second quarter in a moment. And this is Brother Martin basketball at WGSO 990 AM and WGSO.com and watching live at SportsNova.com. Brother Martin on top. Second quarter set to begin. Ken Trahan, Bill Gallagher with you. Bijan Wallace, 6 points. Trey Swilling, 4. Tyler Epps with 2 for Brother Martin. Aaron Brule has 5 for Rummel. Jamar Chase with 2. Rummel's controlled the boards thus far with a big 9-4 edge in that department, but that's offset completely by Rummel's 9 turnovers to just 2 for Brother Martin.
You know, it just goes to show what you can do with statistics. They've got 9 turnovers, yet they're only down by 5 points.
You know, Rummel's defense has been fine, and their rebounding's been fine, but they've just been so poor with the basketball, it's completely offset. Brother Martin just needs to get it going, shooting the ball here. Here's Singleton off the penetration, jump stop, 10-footer, no good. And again, Stam controls the board. Rummel's held the boards pretty well early on in this game. Quickly, here is an open shot for Reese. Off the window, smart shot, and he banks it home. That's what you want to see, isn't it? Use the glass.
Exactly. You don't see that very often.
Here's a long-range 3, no good by Lally, and controlled by Reese on the board for Rummel.
There's no second-chance points for Brother Martin. They're not getting any offensive rebounds.
Here's the senior Andre Denove, who's a really good 2-sport star who just signed with Georgetown, a terrific student, a very high ACT, and he's going to a great university in Georgetown to play football. And here's a whistle and a blocking foul Down low, good call. Player was moving. As Brule tried to get to the hole, he was blocked by Moore, who commits his first. 13 foul on Brother Martin, so foul's no issue for the Crusaders early on. Again, Stam has 2 for Rummel, and he's still in. And here is Denove to get it in. Right side Chase off the fake, pulls up, no shot, good defense. Way out high to Brule. Not going for those fakes, that's good discipline defensively.
Staying on your feet, yes.
Here's Chase off the dribble drive, got there, put it up, and those are the shots he missed in the first game, and he does it again. Rummel at the rim, just unable to finish shots.
I'll tell you what, they just having a real trouble both times against Brother Martin, shooting in close. And Brother Martin's taking shots from the outside and just being limited to one shot.
Right, they're getting the one shot, and they're giving up the defensive rebound. Here's a hand to Lally. In front court, Lally bounced past Singleton. Singleton switched defensively. Nice pass to the open Swilling, but it's too long. Rebound out of bounds to Rummel. Again, the one shot. Well, it was a nice ball exchange to get the open look there.
Yeah, I talked with Chris about this earlier in the week. You know, a fear that we all have as coaches is that everybody goes cold at the same night. And right now, that's what's happening with Brother Martin, even though they're winning the game.
Brule pushing it. Nice bounce pass to Stam. He'll finish. Stam with his first 2 of the game. Brule the assist. And it's a 12-11 game. Brother Martin by 1.
The longer you let Rummel stick around, the more dangerous they become.
Rummel double teams the ball, and they get the turnover. Steal by Reese, and now Denove turned it over. Can't stand prosperity, right?
Tough break there, tough break. Good defense by Rummel right there. A really poor pass by Devon Moore to begin with. But Rummel took advantage of it, but turns it over themselves.
10 turnovers for the Raiders. At the 6:16 mark, 12-11. They've really kind of controlled the game to this point, Rummel has, but you can't really say that when you can't take care of the basketball.
No, it's true.
I mean, so it's completely offset. Front court, Moore, right side Wallace after a brief rest is back on the floor. Guarded by Reese to Moore. Devon off the dribble, kicks it left corner. Epps gets an open look for 3. Nope. Rebound Stam. Stam on the run. Got it to Reese. On the run, Brule rather, and he puts it in. Good move. Stam on the assist. And Brule the finish, and Rummel's back on top as a result, 13-12, and they're on a 6-0 run to start the second. At the 5:40 mark. They've got good athletes in the open floor like Brother Martin. They get an open space, they can do some damage.
Exactly right.
Here's Singleton. Right corner pass, and they call a riding foul there. Good call. Defender was riding him all the way. That's Chase, and that's his second. So Rummel, that lacks depth, has 2 key players with 2 fouls each. And Chase and Stam, and Dante Mitchell's going to come back in, probably for Chase. Chase, a good player. He just has been unable to finish anything against Brother Martin in 2 games this year. And Rivera back in for Rummel. He'll replace Brule, who's played very well.
And Stam is still in with his 2 fouls.
Sure is. Left corner pass Singleton, out top Epps to Lally. Lally hands it back to Devon Moore, who runs the offense, resets. Both teams have stayed man-to-man thus far. I like that. Here's a nice move. Moore put his head down, but he forced it up, and Stam has an easy rebound. Stam under pressure, though, from behind, has decided to take himself. Big mistake. Got it knocked away, but right to a teammate for 3. And that bounces around, and it won't go in. And the rebound, Wallace. That thing hung on the rim forever. Here's Singleton in the hole. Nice move. He'll score, and Brother Martin's back on top. Jeremy Singleton's first 2 gives Brother Martin a 14-13 lead.
Singleton's signature move, taking to the goal like that.
6 lead changes here in the first half. Here's Denove off the dribble drive. And had it kicked out of bounds. And Rummel will keep the ball as Brother Martin comes back with Trey Swilling, and Rummel will immediately counter with Aaron Brule, who got about a 20-second rest.
That's all they can afford at this point.
Replaces the freshman Rivera. Inbounds pass, Reese. Back to Stam, way out high. Wallace is all over him. Stam off the dribble. Nice pass out top to an open 3 ball. That's a wild shot, though. Rebound Brule in the corner. Brule to the hole. Nice move. He'll score. Boy, he's been good. Good athlete. It's 15-14. Rummel back on top. Here's a good fake. Lally, though, maintains his dribble. And now hands it to Epps. 4:20 to play in the half. A 1-point lead for the Raiders. High post pass Wallace. Wallace. Nice pass Swilling. Unguarded. He'll score an easy one. Brule got lost. He turns to a teammate and say, wait a minute.
Swilling didn't realize how open he was. I think he did realize how open he was. And he almost missed it because he was so wide open.
And Brother Martin back on top 16-15, and we have a stoppage in play.
Wet spot on the
floor. Wet spot on the floor. So we look at the way this game's unfolded already, Bill. 8 lead changes already. Maybe the shape of things to come.
It's going to stay this close. Now, all it takes is one of these teams to get hot, and they can put some distance between each other.
Well, for Brother Martin, it's being able to shoot it better. For Rummel, it's being able to get shots and not give the ball away. Because Rummel has totally controlled the boards here. Looking at Brother Martin's only got 5 rebounds, and Rummel's got 13. So it's been one shot, and that's all for Brother Martin.
Well, Brother Martin's come in with Mr. LPNL, Blake Zamjan.
Yeah, the energy man.
The energy man. And we certainly mean that in a complimentary way. He plays
absolutely
really, really hard. Brings a lot of energy to the floor.
No question. They turn up their defensive intensity. Zamjan guards way out on the floor against Reese. Reese picked up his bounce and goes with a strong right corner pass to Brule behind the back. Double team. Split 2 defenders, but he missed the layup. And the rebound controlled by Wallace. Almost a brilliant play.
It was.
They couldn't get it to fall.
Again, another missed layup.
Yep. Here's a jump stop by Epps. Rolls around, drops through. Soft touch by Tyler Epps. Has his first basket. He's got 4 points. And Brother Martin's lead is back up to 3 at 18-15.
Well, that basket to our left certainly has a lot of bounce to it tonight. That's about 3 shots for Brother Martin. That's bounced 3 or 4 times and gone in.
Here's Mitchell off the drive. He had it stripped away and turned it over. Here comes Brother Martin 2-on-1. Swilling. Nice bounce pass. Zamjan, but he blew the layup. Got it back. Put it back. Missed it. Rebound. Brule. Wow. Tough break there. Dribble drive. Brule. Nice move, but he missed it, and Zamjan rebounds. Wow. Ugly stuff. Here's Swilling on the run. Saves it on the floor. Lolly's got it. He's wide open for 3, and he's in and out. Rebound Swilling. He puts it back up. That's short. Rebound Zamjan, and had it stripped away. Wow. This is sloppy as can be on both ends. Shot is up, and it's going to be good, but an offensive foul is going to be called on Mitchell. Another turnover by Rummel. Second on Mitchell.
That's not good news. That gives him 3 players with 2 fouls.
Right, with limited depth. And Mitchell's had a hard time in both games. He's struggled with the ball handling aspects in both games thus far.
Yes, he has.
And he's a good player, but he's not as long or tall as some of the players he's up against, and that's been a problem for him.
Right. That play right there, very rarely do you see this call, but he almost made the foul after he took the shot. Sometimes you'd like to see the shot count and then call it.
I think the shot should count regardless of who makes it on either end. If you've already let the ball go and it goes in, then you make contact. That should be a basket.
That should be a basket.
18-15, Brother Martin by 3 at the 2:30 mark. Here's Epps.
Try to get a setup play for
Lally off the double screen. Goes left on a runner with the right hand. He's no good. Rebound on the floor. Good hustle. And it's out of bounds to Brother Martin. That's great hustle by Brother Martin to save it. Pat Hughes
just
made a great play. He just out-hustled Rivera for the ball. And creates a second chance opportunity. So that's 2 straight trips that Brother Martin's had more than one opportunity.
Brother Martin shooting 27% right now.
That'll do it.
And they have a 3-point lead.
Yeah, Rummel's not much better.
No.
And the turnovers are, again, the difference. Epps dribbles, shoots with the left hand, forced that. But a pickup there by Wallace. Nice fake, put it back up, he'll score. He's on Wallace with 8 points. And now a 20-15 lead. Brother Martin on a 6-0 run back out to a 5-point edge as we approach 2 minutes to play in the half.
Mr. Dependable for the Crusaders there, Wallace.
Jamar Chase back in for Rummel, and Troy Holly wants a timeout because I think Stam might have blood. He does.
Blood or contact or something.
That might be a contact because he's going to look on the other end of the floor. Or is he going to the locker room? Going to the locker room. Maybe he
probably has his liquid or whatever.
Liquid or another contact because he's pointing to his eye.
Actually, might not work bad for Rummel. It gets him out of the game with his 2 fouls for a second.
Brother Martin starting to assert itself inside, rebounding better and contesting rebounds now. Fake by Chase, forced it up, no good. Great defense, huge rebounds. Here's Moore through traffic. Moore goes baseline, cut off, stutter step, picks up his dribble and threw it away to Chase. Chase on the run. Chase the other way, all the way to the hole, and he can't finish again. But he's fouled.
He did get fouled,
and he'll shoot 2.
He should have made that basket.
His first, team
So that's the first on Hughes and the fourth on Brother Martin. Chase will shoot two, but he's got to be the most frustrated person in the world. This is a big-time Division I football player. He's a junior. He's got about 20 offers right now, but he's a good athlete. He's a good basketball player. But he just hasn't played well against Brother Martin this year. Makes the first free throw. He's got 3 points. Cuts the lead to 4.
Brother Martin's only got 14 fouls. They can really play
aggressively
this last minute and a half of the second.
Absolutely. Second one is up, and he doesn't get the roll. And the rebound controlled by Moore, so it's 20-16. With a minute 30 to play in the half, Moore calls a play. Guarded by Denove. To Hughes at the high post. Hughes down low to Wallace. Wallace runs a one-hander up, and he scores it, and a chance for a three-point play. What a strong shot by Wallace. Fouled by Shahid Reese, his first, and a chance for the three-point play. So just like in the first game, Wallace is the dominant force against Rummel.
He's not the tallest guy out there, but I tell you what, there's nobody with the determination and the strength that he has.
Tremendous competitor. Missed the free throw, though, and Chase rebounds for Rummel, so it's a 6-point lead.
And he's not just all brute and muscle. He's fluid.
My favorite player on the team. Here's Denove. Dribble drive. Left baseline Chase through the legs. Gets inside again, and this time he'll finish with the left hand. So Chase with 5 points, and it's 22-18 at the 1-minute mark. Dribble drive Hughes. Threw it out top. Nobody saw it. Swilling picked it up. Back to Hughes. He'll jump it up from 12. He's good. Pat Hughes with his first two, and it's 24-18 Brother Martin. With 49 seconds to play now. Brother Martin shooting, coming alive. Here's Chase against Hughes into the front court. Says clear out. They might be holding the ball here. Chase against Hughes. Defense extended on him. Called a 5-second call there. And Chase goes over to his coach, said, I didn't think so.
What did I do? What did I do?
Well, he was just penetrating when the call came up. But he had it for a long time.
That's a very difficult call.
It is. What is an attempt to penetrate and what's not?
I'm not disagreeing with the call necessarily. Yeah. It's a very difficult call.
It is. So 32 seconds left. Brother Martin by 6, and they've got the ball with a chance to extend the lead here. Here's Moore. Right side. Swilling. Swilling dribbles back toward the right corner. Now to Hughes. Right baseline. 12-foot jumper. Short off the rim. Rebound. Rivera, who blocked out nicely. I like to see that from a young player. 13 seconds left. Rummel will get the last shot, it appears. Mitchell with 7 seconds. Dribble drive. Nice kick to Denove for 3. In and out. No good. Good rebound and a putback, and he missed it. And Brother Martin rebounds it again. Rummel can't finish anything down low. As Reese rebounded but missed the point-blank shot, Jordan Swilling got the board, and halftime arrives. An ugly first half offensively on both sides, but Brother Martin, having forced 12 turnovers, has a 24-18 lead at the break. We'll take the timeout. We're back with our halftime show in a moment. You are listening to Brother Martin Basketball and watching it as well on WGSO 990 AM at WGSO.com and through SportsNola.com. Brother Martin leads Rummel at halftime by the score of 24-18. Ken Trahan along with the coach, Bill Gallagher, as we look back at the first half. They had 8 lead changes in the first half and also had a tie. And the scoring thus far for Archbishop Rummel, Aaron Brule leads with 9 points. Shaheen Reese with 2. It's Jamar Chase with 5. And Ashkin Stam has 2 points, 5 rebounds. For Brother Martin, it's Pat Hughes with 2. Trey Swilling has 6. Tyler Epps with 4. 2 points for Jeremy Singleton. And Bajon Wallace has 10 points and 4 rebounds. And speaking of rebounds, at one point, Brother Martin was way down. Now they close that gap to 16-14. They really turned up the intensity in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the first half. Bill, they got second chance opportunities and picked up their offense a little bit. And if they do that, I think they'll probably emerge victorious in this game.
Well, I don't know which coach is happy in that locker room right now. You got a 6-point lead for Brother Martin, but I can't believe that Chris Beal is happy with the way his team shot the ball tonight. And Troy Holly with Rummel, they're down by 6, but how many turnovers?
They have 12.
12 turnovers.
Which is exactly half of what they finished the first game with. So same kind of deal.
Same kind of game for them. And so he's not seeing any improvement from one game to the next. So it's only a 6-point game. I mean, they're still right there, but I don't think either guy is really happy with the performance.
No, and obviously in defensive Rummel, too, missing his leading scorer and a guard and ball handler, and Iman Fazan certainly hurts the cause, but that's the way it goes. You play with what you have on a given night. As mentioned, 8 lead changes, 1 tie in the first half, and Brother Martin closed the first quarter on a 6-0 run to take a 5-point lead. Rummel opened the second quarter on a 6-0 run to take a 13-12 lead, but then Brother Martin had a 6-0 run of its own to go up 20-15, and they maintained that edge the rest of the half and lead at 24-18 at the break. We'll take a timeout here. We'll continue with more of our halftime show in just a moment. This is Brother Martin basketball on WGSO 990 AM at WGSO.com and also at SportsNOLA.com. Halftime here at Bob Conlon Gymnasium, and it's Brother Martin 24, Archbishop Rummel 18 at the break. Brother Martin scoring 12 points in each of the first 2 quarters to maintain the lead here over Rummel. Bill, you have some other numbers in the first half you want to pass along?
Yeah, neither team is really lighting it up from the field. Brother Martin's only shooting 31% so far. Rummel's not a whole lot better, but they're shooting 35%. The big statistic that I see is points off of turnovers. and that's due to the number of turnovers. Brother Martin scored 10 points off of those Rummel turnovers.
That's the difference in the game.
That's the difference in the game.
Yeah. No question about that. And if you're Troy Holly, that has to be what you're hammering home to your team, more so than finishing down low. I mean, that's just shot making. You got to make shots, but obviously you got to get shots. And if you're turning the ball over, you're not getting shots. You're not only not getting shots, but Brother Martin's converting those mistakes into points on the other end.
Exactly.
And if you're Chris Beal, it's guys, just keep defending the way you are, and let's just make sure that we focus on getting the open look again. If we have the open look from the perimeter, take it, and if not, let's kick it down low. Bottom line is, for Brother Martin, it's more a matter of shot making, of executing. Give Rummel credit; they play pretty good defense, but Brother Martin can certainly distance themselves if they can make some shots.
I think that's the case with both of them, because Rummel's missed so many point-blank shots. If they had made some of those shots, it would be a different game. Looking at the teams right now at half, Brother Martin's still in the locker room. Rummel's been out for a minute or so. I got to think Troy Holly's more pleased with this bunch right now than Chris Beal is with Brother Martin.
Well, his effort has been good. I think that their intensity, their effort has been good, but their carelessness with the ball, and again, ineffectiveness to finish plays at the rim. Clearly, that's not a lack of effort. The effort's there.
Right. Well, he's going with two less starters than he usually has, so it's going to take a while for these five guys to work together as a team.
And for Chris Beal, it'll be interesting to see the combinations he tries to go with. We know what Rummel has. It's a short bench, so you're going to see Shahid Reese coming off the bench and Andre Denove, and that's about it. They're on 7 deep, and that includes a freshman making his first start. So they just don't have the numbers, and as we mentioned, we also think that that's something to watch for too, is the ability to perhaps wear the other down, and that would tend to be Brother Martin wearing Rummel down because of the numbers.
Well, because of the numbers, and Rummel's got 3 players with 2 fouls right now, which was okay for the first half, but if one of those guys gets a quick foul to start the second half, that bench is really going to be put to the test.
Teams warming up to get the second half started here within a minute's time. And we'll see who they decide to go with. I would imagine the same players that started the game, but beginning both coaches were kind of waffling on that before the game started.
Right. A little chess game between the two of them. They each wanted to see who the other guy was going to start. Brother Martin hurting a little bit also. Tyler Lally hasn't scored yet. He's their second leading scorer, averaging almost 12.5 points a game, and he hasn't made a basket yet.
Again, Rummel with 12 turnovers, and keep in mind they had 9 of those in the first quarter. That was to only be down 5 after trailing, giving the ball away 9 times in the first quarter. They could have been blown out in the first quarter.
Exactly right. So we'll see what happens in the second half here. If somebody starts off on a roll, gets the game going, gets the momentum on their side, or whether we just keep going back and forth like we're doing.
Second half set to begin. It will be Rummel ball. And we're underway. Again, we reset. This is Jamar Chase, picked up right away, very high by Jeremy Singleton. A couple of really good football players there. Right baseline, here's Mitchell knocking down the 3 ball right away. So they get Mitchell going. His first points of the game off the assist from Chase, and he cuts the lead to 3 at 24-21. Dribble drive, nice move by Devon Moore, and he scores his first basket. So 2 players with their first baskets of the game to start the second half. And a 5-point lead, Brother Martin. Here's Stam, avoids contact, finds the open shooter for 3. That's a back rim, no good. Nice rebound, Wallace. And that's his 5th as Reese starts the second half for Rummel. He didn't start the game. Here's a ball knocked away. It's on the floor, loose and stolen on a turnover. Here's Reese coming the other way to Mitchell. Shot is well off the mark, goes out of bounds, and that'll be Brother Martin basketball.
I got a feeling Troy Holly told his guys at halftime, look, guys, you played your butts off. Go out there and have some fun this half. Be loose.
Yeah, they're shooting freely here to start the second half, but that's probably not the guy they want shooting a 3 there. Mitchell, yes, but not that time.
Well, he made his first with that kind of
created
a monster there.
Wallace to an open shooter, Epps for 3. No. Rebound, Brule for Rummel. His 3rd. To Chase. Chase slows it up out top. Mitchell backs it up off the dribble. Stam wanted to pick, but now goes down low. Both teams with extending man-to-man defenses. Mitchell being ridden by Moore. They'll call the foul before he made the shot. So Moore commits his second. First player with Brother Martin with 2 fouls. They've only committed 5 team fouls in the game.
I don't like that. I like to commit foul. That means you're being aggressive.
Sometimes it's also the way the game's being called, but I think it's more about the aggressiveness here. Here's Denove. Denove stumbled, kicked it, lost it. It's on the floor. Brother Martin has it, and here comes Moore for the layup. It's blocked away, but fouled by Denove. He'll shoot 2.
Nice save by Wallace down on the end there.
He gets the steal. Another turnover by Rummel.
I think there was a little wet spot down there, too.
Denove commits the foul. Yeah, we see people slipping a lot. Some of that is condensation. Some of it is, frankly, the floor. It's a little bit of both, typically speaking.
This isn't the typical night that you would see a lot of humidity.
It's cooler outside tonight.
Cooler, yeah.
Chris Beal goes and wipes up the wet spot himself. Way to go, Chris. Nice move. About getting that wooden floor, buddy.
Well, he learned that move when he was my assistant.
Oh, you taught him very well, man.
I'm still working on the floor.
There you go. Here's Moore's first free throw. Good. Yeah, this is a league that has a lot of really good floors now with St. Augustine and Rummel and Jesuit.
If I'm not mistaken, I may get fired for this, but I think everybody's got a wooden floor but us.
28-21, Devon Moore. Okay. Then I said it, not you. How's that?
I might be looking for a full-time job.
7-point lead for Brother Martin, their biggest. Here's Chase. Out top to Reese. Right side to Stam. Stam, low post, Brule. Nice move. Put it up and one. Strong move by Brule. As they went high-low with Stam out high. And Stam, a good passer, found him, and Brule converts.
Swilling was on the backside. Came over a little bit too late and fouled.
Brule in double figures with 11 points. He'll look to add his 12th here. He averages 7.3 a game. So he's picked up some of the slack tonight for Fazan, and he converts the three-point play and makes it a 4-point game at 28-24, 6:10 to play in the third. Here's Epsco's baseline on Stamp. Bounce pass to Singleton. Out top, Trey Swilling for 3. Back rim, no good. Rebound, Stamp. Stamp with his 6th board, hands it to Chase. Chase into the front court. Chase by a defender. Had it stripped away, stolen again. Coming up with it is Moore. Here he comes the other way. Pass knocked away, loose and stolen away. Turnovers both ways. And now Reese has it.
Similar to the start of the game.
Down low Stam, and instead of looking to shoot, he tried to make the pass. He was about 5 feet away. That's unselfish, but when you're big catching it right near the block, you might want to look to score.
Yeah, I think he had a little room. He could have made a move to the goal.
And he comes out of the game.
This might be the strategy with Rummel right now, is get some guys in and out, get them some quick rest, and then get them back in the game.
Mitchell jump stop 10-footer. That's too strong. Rebound. Mitchell chips it to Brule. Brule to Denove. He's open from 10, and he missed it. 2 good looks, and they couldn't convert. And the rebound to Moore. Moore comes the other way. Now to Epps. Kicked away down low. That's a kick, though. Or did they call a foul? I think they called a foul.
A foul from behind. Reach.
On Reese. So his second. So Reese has 2. Second team foul on Rummel, and Brother Martin will have a new player coming in. That's going to be T.J. Small. That's a talented young player getting an opportunity. T.J. Small, which makes Torrance smile.
TJ's first appearance in the game. He's gotten a lot of good minutes in the varsity game the last few games and scored a few points. He's going to be only a freshman. He's going to be a real good, solid player for us.
A lot of good young players on the Brother Martin team. Down low there's Small at a hole, and he scores right away.
There he is.
Swilling got it to him, and Small scores his first 2, and it's 30-24.
Nice, strong move there, too.
Very strong. Here's Mitchell off a nice dribble drive to Denove. Denove steps back off the bounce. Left side, Brule goes baseline. Scissors to the hole, and he's fouled. Good job by Brule. What he did well was he jumped to the side to avoid the charge and picks up the foul.
Right.
And if you want to get the call, jump to the side to avoid contact. That's a smart move by Brule. Gets him 2 free throws, and that's the 3rd team foul on Brother Martin. Brule's been the best player on the floor for Rummel. He's got 12 points, 4 rebounds, and looks to add to that here.
Hey, he's played a good game so far. Got half of their points.
Wiping up the wet spot where the players hit the floor. Chris Beal yelling at Tyler Lally to come get some instructions.
This is kind of working. These wet spots of the floor could work to Rummel's advantage.
Slow it down a little bit.
Slow it down a bit, gives him a little
break. Yeah, when you're only rotating 7 guys.
I've got 7 guys in there, yeah. Doesn't have to use his
Stam is at the scorer's table. Probably wants the shooter, right? Or maybe not. Brule's first is good. They're not going to take Brule out. Stam's going to get Canove. So it doesn't matter big or small. They're just using 7 guys and flip-flopping.
Right.
Brule with another coming. He's got 13 now. He's carried Rummel. He's cut the deficit to 5 and missed the second. Rebound to Wallace. That's his 6th. So it's 30-25 Crusaders. Swilling to the baseline underneath. Now kicks it off to Small. Jump stop 7-footer. And look at T.J. Small. He's come in and scored 2 in a row.
Instant offense.
32-25. Mitchell through traffic to Chase all the way to the hole. Layup good. They'll beat the pressure and score it easily. 7 for Chase. And it's 32-27.
Not a good defensive effort by Brother Martin on that possession.
No, too easy.
Too easy. Right up the gut.
Good job of attacking the pressure by Rummel, by Mitchell. Long 3, Lally. No good. A little bit too deep there. Chase rebounds. Chase into the front court. Right side pass. Stolen away, Lally. Saves it on the floor. 3-on-1 Swilling. Layup foul, and that's a smart foul to prevent the layup by Chase. But that's going to be his 3rd foul on what was a terrible cross-court pass. I mean, you can't make a 40-foot pass cross-court.
Not at all.
And get away with it. Lally got the steal and created the 2-shot opportunity. And that's 15 turnovers for Rummel now as Swilling will shoot 2. He's got 6 points in the game, trying to extend a 5-point lead here.
Good to see Lally playing good defense like that, despite the fact that he hasn't scored. He hasn't let it affect that part of the game.
First free throw a little bit too strong, and now Rivera checks in for Chase because Chase has 3 fouls for Rummel. Just when he thought he was getting it going with his 7 points, he sits. Second free throw, Swilling. That one is good. He's got 7 points, and it's 33-27. Crusaders by 6. Walking it the other way is Dante Mitchell.
You know, Rummel made that 3 to start the scoring off in this half, this 3rd quarter. Brother Martin hasn't made a 3 the whole game. That's the only 3 in the entire game.
To Mitchell, neither team. Mitchell jump pass to Reese, dribble drive, kicks it left corner to Stam. He dribble drives, kicks it left corner for the 3 by Brule. No good. Rebound controlled by Small, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Rummel, I think, on Brule. It is, and that's his 2nd. So Small has come in, and what a difference he's made. 4 points and a rebound. It's just been terrific. He's given his team a big, big shot in the arm here. What a future he has.
That's the kind of team that Chris Beal has on the bench. He's got these guys that can come in and really, they're not just eating up minutes, they contribute.
Swilling at the high post. Hands it to Wallace. Thought about it. Cut off on the drive. Good defense being played there. Wallace keeps his dribble. Has to go cross court to Lally, who bombs away. Nope. Rebound in the corner. Wallace runs it down beautifully. And a timeout, Brother Martin, I believe. Boy, that's, again, V'Jon Wallace will always outwork people to get the ball.
No one will work harder than V'Jon Wallace.
So 3:26 to play in the 3rd.
30-second timeout.
Brother Martin up 33-27. You like the effort you're seeing?
I'll be really interested to see how Houston Baptist takes V'Jon Wallace in football and see what kind of effort that he puts into the game. He is just going to play his hardest every time.
Well, he is. I mean, again, the attitude is fantastic. Nice young man. And he's just been the glue to this team, as I mentioned earlier, with his hard work ethic, his rebounding, his defense. And that was a possession where he was kind of stoned defensively. Reese did a good job on him. And after a missed shot, he just runs it down, out-hustles everybody, and keeps the possession, gets him a second chance.
He looks for the next play.
Mm-hmm.
We call it, he has it.
Yeah.
It.
He's a winner. I mean,
you
hear
can't
that.
Define it.
You hear that terminology a lot. He's a winner, and it's overused perhaps, but this kid is. Here's Epps. Epps just a sophomore, off the bounce. Swilling almost walked, but no call. Swilling off the bounce, maintains the dribble, kicks it out top. Epps for 3. Epps is off, but a rebound. Guess who? T.J. Small, but he's short. Guess who? He got another one. Puts it up and no good. Rebound Mitchell, but what an effort by that young man.
Got a little fancy
Holy
on
cow.
that putback, but what an effort.
Tremendous effort.
You know what?
Reese, and look at this pass. I mean, that was like a football stone pass. I mean, no chance to catch that. And another bad turnover by Rummel. That's 16, and there's just no chance. I mean, you don't get a chance to get a shot off.
Yeah.
And Stam was working hard to pin his man, but that pass, I mean, Jerry Rice couldn't have caught that pass.
You're wasting those possessions. You're getting stops on one end, but wasting your possessions when you get it back.
Here's Swilling to the baseline, spins, fakes on Brule, leans in, shoots it, tough shot, and he got it. Strong move by Swilling. He's got 9, and Brother Martin has its biggest lead, 8 points at the 2:24 mark. You could sense that they're grudgingly starting to gain control of this game, and it's happening.
I would think if they would pick up their defensive pressure a little bit.
Chase and 1. So Chase gets the basket and 1 and a chance for the 3-point play. Wallace gets the foul. That's one of those 50-50 plays. Second on Wallace, and Chase playing with 3 fouls himself. That would have been huge had he gotten his fourth.
Sure would.
With Rummel's lack of depth.
I'd like to see Brother Martin extend that defense from now on and start picking up at half court, trapping at half court like they've been doing earlier in the season.
It's, with Rummel's turnover propensity and their lack of depth, it's bound to wear them down. Chase missed the free throw. Rebound, strong effort. Rummel gets another chance, and Mitchell scores. That was Reese that kept it alive, and Mitchell scores.
And all of a sudden, it goes from Brother Martin's biggest lead of the game down to
35-31. Yeah, 4-point possession. 35-31 at the 1:55 mark. Rummel hanging in tough.
Rummel just out-hustled Brother Martin on that possession.
Yeah, that was all about Reese. He just wanted it more, kept it alive. Singleton dribble drive, left side pass ended up in the hands of Swilling. Swilling off the drive himself. Maintains the bounce. Brule all over him. And another timeout, Chris Beal. He doesn't like what he sees. And Rummel's defensive intensity turned up here. Their effort turned up, obviously. They worked to get that offensive rebound. And then really strong defense there. And Chris Beal wisely calls a 30 here with 1:35 to play in the third, just to try to get things sorted out and make sure his effort stays the same.
Offense got a little stagnant right there. Just stuck in that corner over there, passing it back and forth. Nobody was cutting. They were trying to set screens, but nobody's cutting through. And they just kind of stood still around there.
With 1:35 to play in the third, 35-31. Brother Martin by 4. Ken Trahan, Bill Gallagher with you. Glad to have you with us at sportsnola.com, as well as on WGSO, 990 AM New Orleans. And now, Crusaders will have the ball in front court. Swilling from in front of the Brother Martin bench. Gets it inbounds to Epps. Epps guarded by Mitchell, looks for the pick, got it. Rummel switches, he goes baseline, fakes, turns, kicks it to Wallace at the right elbow. Wallace to the free throw line, bounce pass left corner, Singleton, dribble drive, nice pass to an open shooter, Hughes from 10, he scores. Pat Hughes off the nice penetration by Singleton, who gets the assist, makes it 37-31. So the timeout worked beautifully.
Well, that shot is a lot more difficult than it looks. It's a close shot, but you've got no chance to use the backboard. It's really tough.
Beautiful penetration by Brule creates the layup for Reese. That was a beautiful job by Brule to get into the defense to make it 37-33. I don't know why they whistled to stop the play.
I think there's a little altercation going on. I think they just stopped it before it got to a...
Yeah, I didn't see what happened. I just heard the whistle and looked up and said, okay. Stop play. Swilling comes out at the 1:04 mark. 37-33, Brother Martin. Epps off the dribble, beat his man. Left corner pass, Hughes open again. And this one's no good. And that's a clear-out foul. That's going to be called on Wallace. Good job of blocking out by Reese. That's textbook there about how you seal a guy off trying to rebound. That's a beautiful job. Wallace commits the foul. That's his third. Remember that. 56 seconds to play in the third. Wallace, to me, is the indispensable player on the team.
He is. He's kind of like the one guy they don't have another player for.
Right.
You know, you got Epps and Moore, you got Swilling and Singleton, but you don't have anybody with Wallace.
Last year you had an Irv Smith that could do that, but you don't have that guy.
You don't have that now.
Here's Mitchell. He fumbled it away, just gave it away off the dribble. Here comes Brother Martin the other way. Dribble drive Moore. His pass knocked away, stolen. Reese comes up with it. A sloppy basketball here. Rivera to Mitchell. Mitchell with 33 seconds. Dribble drive. Kicks it out top to Stam. He dribbles drive strong to the hole. Just threw it up. Air ball, but it's picked up. And they're going to call a foul over the back on Reese, I believe. So Reese commits the foul. That's his third. Just very sloppy basketball on both ends.
It really is.
This has not been a pretty game. Bruce Jordan Swilling is back in for Brother Martin. Here comes T.J. Small, who's played a huge role here in this quarter for Brother Martin.
You've got Small and Moore on the court at the same time. Both Bertolino playground players. Played together at Bertolino. Coached by Torrance Small, Sr.
He's watching right behind us. Brother Martin will play for the last shot. 15 seconds left. More calls of play, and here they go. Left side to Small in the corner with 9 seconds. Small dribbles toward the top. Bounce pass. Hughes. Long three. He's no good off the rim. Rebound Stam. 2 seconds. 1 second. Stam from center court. Ooh, it was right on line and hit the back rim. And the third quarter comes to an end. Brother Martin maintains the edge by the score of 37-33. Fourth quarter to come. This is Brother Martin basketball on WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com, and at SportsNola.com. Fourth quarter begins. 37-33 is the lead for Brother Martin over Archbishop Rummel. Ken Trahan, Bill Gallagher with you. Brother Martin will have the ball to start the fourth quarter, led by Vijon Wallace with 10, Trey Swilling with 9, Aaron Brule 13 for Rummel, Jamar Chase with 9. Crusaders ball. This is Wallace against Stam, and he gets it back out high now to Epps between the circles. Epps goes left side of the floor. Bounce it left side of the block to Swilling. Double him. Kick it back to Epps for 3. Good pass. Result not there. Tough break. Rebound Chase.
Last time these two teams played, it was the third quarter where Brother Martin went on a run and put the game pretty much away.
Sure did. Rummel made a late run but could never get closer than 5 in that game. Here's Chase. Fall-away jumper. Tough shot. Knocked it down.
It's a one-possession game right here.
Chase has found his game. He's up to 11, and it's 37-35. He's a good player, and he's starting to look the part. Front court. Here's Epps. Off the bounce. Left side pass now to Singleton. Singleton back out high to Swilling. Dribble drive. Got to the paint. Kicks it to Wallace. Steps in. Little 5-footer. Soft and in. Vijon Wallace has 12 points. Nice job by Swilling, and it's 39-35. Get Wallace the ball in a sweet spot. Here's Mitchell. Front court Brule. Stam way out near the timeline. Stam will put it on the floor out there as Brother Martin really extends its defense, and there's the turnover. I mean, he threw that ball 5 feet into the back court.
There was no way that pass could be completed in the front court.
Now, I understand having your postman at the high post, but out near the timeline, handling the ball. And they need, again, with the defense the way it is, but your guards have to go get the ball.
Yeah, somebody's got to come to the ball.
Right. 4-point lead, Brother Martin, and they've got the ball. Here's Swilling. High post turns around, gets to the Wallace free throw line, penetration, double team. Kick it out to Epps. He's open for 3, and that's an air ball. Saved by Swilling. Beautifully, and Epps again with a look. There's a down low pass to Singleton. He'll put it up and in. Swilling kept the play alive. Singleton cashes in, and Brother Martin's lead is 6. Here's Chase near the timeline. Chase off the bounce. Chase behind the back. Left corner pass, Mitchell for 3. No good. Rimmed out. Rebound tip long. Brother Martin's got it. And here comes Swilling on the run. Swilling all the way. Swilling right hands it up. No good. Rebound out of bounds to Rummel.
Brother Martin's 0 for 14 from the three-point line tonight.
It's amazing.
And that's been one of the staples of their offense.
Of late, during this win streak.
Yes.
They didn't shoot threes well early in the season, but they've come on strong of late, and not tonight. 6:02 to play.
Epps, Lally, Swilling, Moore, all capable of shooting the three.
So a 6-point lead. Rummel will have the ball at the 6:02 mark when play resumes. Again, Brother Martin has maintained this slight working margin here really since the late in the second quarter, but they've not been able to separate to put themselves in a commanding position.
No, I'm really impressed with the job Troy Holly's done tonight with these guys. Undermanned, fighting for their lives. Yeah, it's been a little sloppy, but we're talking about the number of turnovers they have. Most, they're trying to make something happen. It's not because they're tied up and they just lose control of the ball. They're trying to make, it might be a bad pass, but they're trying to make something happen. They're trying to advance the ball. They're taking good shots, just not making the shots. So they're doing enough things here, just not making the shots.
18 turnovers as well, and again, that's the telltale sign. Brother Martin, by our count, only saying like a 7 by my count. Might be 8, but I got 7, so no comparison. Here's Chase. That means you get more shots when you don't turn it over. They had a little 1-3-1 zone trap here.
And you score points off the front.
There's Chase, and they attack Chase, and they get it front court to Reese, and he threw it away, but it's knocked out of bounds. And Brother Martin's defensive pressure extended, and it nearly paid off.
It did pay off.
They're going to give it to Brother Martin. Well, that should be Rummel's ball.
I think he pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, that's Rummel's ball. It should be Rummel. It was knocked out of bounds by Brother Martin. That was pretty obvious.
I thought it was off of Lally.
Yeah, same here. He knocked the ball out of bounds.
Comment about Lally's wingspan.
Now you got 3 officials talking. I mean, the one official on the spot signaled Brother Martin ball. Now the other 2 are coming over and they're having a discussion. And it was right in front of the Rummel bench, and the Rummel bench can't believe it. And this is, you never like this with long discussions. And it is Rummel ball, and they got it right. At the end of the day, that's what you want to see. It just shouldn't have taken that long. It's either one way or the other, right?
Just don't do it with a replay. Just talk about it and do it.
Chase goes all the way in the backcourt to Mitchell. They restart their offense with 5:48 to play. Rummel down 6 with the ball, and again, Brother Martin extends its defense.
This is a big possession for Rummel. Time is ticking. They got to get the ball. They got to get the game tied, get the lead. They can't stay 4-6 points behind.
Brule double team, spins it out top to Chase off the dribble. Nice left-handed move, but he missed again. Rebound. That's a jump ball, and that'll be Rummel basketball. Chase at the rim, couldn't finish again. Rummel does keep it on the alternating possession, and a good job by Wallace to challenge the shot. Not like it was an easy shot. He had to use the left hand, but he was at the rim.
Challenging shots makes you change the shot a little bit.
There's Mitchell. Nice bounce pass to Chase. He got held and fouled. It was a nice cut to the basket.
Under the basket. Nice screen.
And a smart foul by Wallace, but that is his 4th. So Wallace with 4 with 5:27 to play. And that's the 6th on Brother Martin. So free throws on the next foul for Rummel. Here's Reese on the drive. And he threw it up wildly and missed the shot, and Wallace rebounds. Wallace's 8th board. Wally faked it, didn't shoot it. Brother Martin up 6, and this is a good possession for them to make a 3-possession game, which it's only been, I think, twice in the whole game. Singleton to Lally. Lally
not even looking to shoot right now.
Chris Beal gives instructions now to Epps. High post pass Swilling. Swilling on Brule. Beat him off the bounce. Put it up and one, and a chance for the 3-point play. And now Brother Martin has Rummel at the breaking point as Swilling is in double figures with 11, and Brule picks up his 3rd foul.
That's why that last possession was so important for Rummel. They needed to get the game a little bit closer, and they needed to stop on this end, which they didn't get.
Yeah, they really look to be a player short tonight. That would be their leading scorer, obviously.
I think so, huh?
Against Brother Martin, when you have the kind of depth that Brother Martin can throw at you, and you don't have it, and you're missing your leading scorer, it's a problem. Hughes will replace Wallace. Smart move by Chris Beal to buy a minute or 2 with Wallace with 4 fouls. And now Trey Swilling, who's come up big in double figures with 11, with a chance to make it 12 here. And extend the lead to 9. Biggest of the game if he makes it. And there it is. So it's 44-35 Brother Martin with 4:56 to play.
Still can't relax if you're Brother Martin.
Brule dribbled right into the defender, but a pushing foul will be called. I mean, he showed the ball to the defender, which is not what you want to do. But a foul called there on it, Epps. And that's going to mean free throws for Rummel.
I think if Epps had been expecting that, he could have had an easy steal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, I mean, he just showed him the ball.
Yeah,
right.
He was so surprised.
Devon Moore back in for the Crusaders. Tyler Lally is out. And here's Aaron Brule in the 1-1. He's played a good game with 13 points, 4 rebounds. Leading scorer for Rummel in the game. And here's Chris Beal to do his duty again. I think Chris just wants to stay in shape. He's sprinting to the wet spots over and over again. Working up a good sweat.
What he hasn't learned yet, though, is when you come out there and wipe the floor, get your team around you so you can instruct while you're doing that.
Yeah, kind of sneak an instruction there.
That's right. That's right.
Deneau for Rummel replacing Stam. Well, Stam's been quiet tonight, just 2 points. And they needed more out of him.
He had to play pretty carefully after he got those
He sure
fouls,
did, yeah.
So
he does have 7 rebounds.
Yeah.
But when your leading scorers out, you need people to step up. They've gotten that from Brule, who averages just over 7. He's got 13, but not anybody else. Free throw no good, and that's a big miss. And a Brother Martin rebound for Hughes, and the Crusaders now have some semblance of control here. Up 9 with the ball, under 5 minutes to play. Ball knocked away, but loose. Epps picks it up, and here's Hughes to Swilling. Swilling with Brule on him with 4:30 to play. Swilling off the dribble. So it's been a good matchup to watch tonight. 2 kids that are good athletes in 2 sports. Both of whom have played well. Swilling beat him off the dribble, but he missed the shot. Rebound controlled by Reese. Behind the back, Chase. Chase to Reese. Fumbled it. Got it back. Sees Chase. He's open, but he passed up the shot. Spin move. Nice move. Got to the sack. Missed it. Got it back. Fakes. Blocked and fouled by Hughes. I think he's got to take the first shot, though, don't you?
I think he does. I think he does, yes.
Hughes commits his second. Chase will get to the line to shoot 2. And I know he's a good athlete who likes to drive it to the hole, but when you get that open look from 12 to 15 and you're open and you're down, you got to score it.
Yeah, the only consolation is now to get the score without the clock running, but you needed that basket.
But they missed their second consecutive free throw, and that's the second time they've had the clock stopped and haven't made a free throw here in the last 30 seconds. As Stam is back in for Reese. Troy Holly's managed that 7-man lineup as best he can tonight. Gotta imagine there's some fatigue out there right now. Second one by Reese Chase, and that's good. He's got 12, and it's 44-36, Brother Martin. 4:05 to play. Beating the pressure, Singleton split 2 defenders. Brother Martin with a lot of guys that can handle the ball. That's big when teams are pressuring you.
You've got 4 ball handlers out there right now.
Here's Devon Moore with 3:50 to play. Moore right side to Epps. Epps, top of the circle, Singleton to Hughes. Hughes back out top to Devon Moore. Moore right side to Swilling. Unselfish basketball. The Singleton back to Swilling. Smart basketball. Spread the floor. Use your ball handling skills. Keep it moving.
Rummel's got to come out a little, though,
at some point.
Force it a little bit.
The Singleton, yes. Next foul will put Brother Martin at the line. Here's Moore. Hounded. Double team. Threw it away. Brule stole it. Brule the other way. Brule will lay it in. And a timeout Rummel. So Brule now with 15 points. And it's a 44-38 game. Back to a 2-possession game. Timeout Rummel of 30 with 3:16 to play.
That's the danger in the pass that comes from the wing back to the point. If it gets intercepted, it's an easy basket for your defense. What you'd like to see is maybe fake that pass back to the middle and have the guy cut that through the goal. Go back door.
So both coaches discussing it with their players. Back out on the floor.
I think Rummel used that timeout there for Coach Holly to just
set up the press and get a blow.
Yeah, urge his guys to start coming out a little, playing tougher defense, pick it up a little bit higher, put in the press, pick up the pressure. They can't let much more time go off this clock.
Brother Martin basketball. Rummel will press full court. It's going to be Hughes to trigger it. Hughes finds Wallace. Wallace to Swilling. I said Hughes, it was Swilling, of course. Swilling off the dribble of Brule. Swilling checked and fouled by Brule. That's a 1-and-1. So free throws now will be the charge for both teams, and that's 4 on Brule. So Brule, Rummel's best player with 4. He's been the best player tonight for sure.
I think you got to keep him in.
Oh, you have no choice with 3:06 to
play. You got to get Stam in.
Although Stam's about to come on.
Here he comes.
So in the 1-1, it's going to be Swilling. Stam gets Denove. Andre Denove's a good story. One of those kids that's like 5'7", and he's going to play football at Georgetown because he's such a good player, but he's a great student. That's how you get there. 1-1 for Swilling. Free throw up. Got it. 13 for Trey. That's big because now it's a 3-possession game. With 3:06 to play, a 7-point lead for Brother Martin. Swilling ready with his second. That's airborne, and that's good. Clutch free throws. He's got 14, and it's 46-38 Crusaders with 3:04 to play. Rummel is at the point where they have to score on every possession.
Yeah, they don't have their margin of error has shrunk.
Here's Stam.
They've got to score quickly.
Penetration, nice pass to Brule, but he missed a layup, and it's controlled by Brother Martin Singleton.
A little bit too far under the goal there.
And a foul from behind. And that's more free throws for Brother Martin. That's on Chase, and he's got 4. Got a feeling we're going to see players fouling out here soon. Because Rummel has to foul with the deficit being 8. Jeremy Singleton can make it 10 if he can knock down a couple here. He's got 4 points in the game. It's his first trip to the free throw line. He's 58% from the line on the year.
And then with all the foul trouble that Rummel's in, the danger you're going to get into now toward the end of the game is you're going to have to put somebody in who hadn't played yet.
And you don't have people that you want to play to put in the foul. Singleton missed the free throw.
You would have put him in already if they
exactly.
could help you.
8th board for Stam. And still he's an 8-point game. Jamar Chase to Reese. Reese off the dribble. Reese to the paint. Reese, nice move, and he's fouled. Boy, he couldn't finish. Again, from 5 feet, they can't get it home.
That was a
tough
foul.
They will shoot 2. Lally the foul, and that's his second. So a 2-shot opportunity for Reese. His first free throws to be taken in the game. He's got 4 points in the game. Shaheed Reese heading to Ball State to play football for Mike New and Johnny Curtis.
Johnny Curtis made a good run down here.
He sure did. Yeah, he got Pony Chiuta of John Curtis as well. Free throw good, makes it 46-39. Rivera checks in for Mitchell for Rummel. So that might be your foul person there, right?
Right, could be.
Second free throw, Reese is perfect. He's got 6, and it's a 6-point lead, 46-40, 2:30 to play. Epps on the run. Denove chases him. Somehow no foul was called there. A lot of contact. Here's Swilling. On the weave to Lally. Lally, they're just going to try to play possession. Rummel's going to have to go out and guard him, and at some point foul.
They're letting him just spread the floor and waste too much time.
There's Chase fouled out of the game just now. So Jamar Chase just committed his 5th, gone for the steal, and he's gone. So Jamar Chase, who has 12 points, is gone. So Chase fouls out with 2:10 to play. Significant loss for Rummel. And a 1-on-1 situation for Singleton. Jeremy Singleton missed one in his last opportunity, has 4 points in the game. Hughes comes in for defensive purposes for Brother Martin. Singleton, free throw, bottom. He's got 5, and it's a 3-possession game again. Oh, Stam working hard. He wanted that rebound so bad. Ended up hard on the floor.
Brother Martin making their free throws down the stretch run here.
Stam, a senior. He's a hard worker, a nice young man. Been fun watching him play.
Seems like he's been around there a long time.
He really does. Second one, no good. Rebound, Reese. Rummel down 7 with the ball with 2:07 to play.
Still enough time, but not the way Rummel's playing right now.
Brule, nice move, but he missed it. Rebound controlled by Hughes, and Brother Martin's in control now.
They are.
To Epps, Rummel has to foul. Epps to Swilling, double teamed. Stam finally gets the call against him. So Ashton Stam commits his 3rd. Remember, he had 2 early on. That's been a quiet game for him, even though he's got the 8 rebounds, and they really needed some scoring from some other sources tonight without Fazan.
Right.
Again, Brule's been real good. He stepped up. Chase did his job, but that's it. You've got Chase with 12, who's fouled out, Brule with 15, and nobody else with more than 6. Swilling's free throw Got it. Well, he's made 4 in a row here, and that's winning basketball down the stretch in a close to relatively close game.
And you're shooting 2 now from now
Sure.
to the end of the game.
Second one by Swilling, and it rolled out on him somehow.
Thanks, Ken.
Reese, I'm sorry. It almost bounced in. 48-40. Here's a long 3. Mitchell, back rim, no good. Rebound, Brother Martin, and they're in control here. And they'll just take their time with an 8-point lead at 48-40. Minute 30 to play. How long will Rummel wait to foul here? They're waiting a long time here.
They waited too long.
They still haven't fouled. And at some point, right?
I think they're trying. They just can't get to it.
Space for Epps. Wisely doesn't attack. Wallace finds a layup. That's straight basketball. That's a kill shot there. Hughes puts it in from Wallace, and the lead is double digits. And we haven't seen that.
And not only does it make it a 10-point lead, but they ate off 50, almost a minute off the clock.
Mitchell, long 3, and Rummel taking wild 3s now. Reese, a long rebound, his 7th. Brule, the drive, nice move, and 1. Boy, you don't want to foul. And Brule will head to the line with a chance for the 3-point play. He's had a good game. And he'll shoot the free throw. Hughes the foul. Patrick Hughes is 3rd. So Brule, with his team down 8, will try to cut it to 7. Rivera wants to check in for Rummel. Hughes will come out for Brother Martin.
I'm looking at Chris Beal over there, and he just can't believe that Brother Martin committed a foul on that play.
Free throw is in, so 18 for Brule. And now Rivera will check in for Rummel. It's 50-43. Crusaders by 7. Brule comes out. I don't think I'd want him on the bench at any point here.
I think they just called a technical foul on Rummel.
A technical foul.
Technical foul, number 24, Ashton Stam. His 4th.
They called it on Stam. For what, I have no idea. I didn't see it.
I didn't see any physical action down there. It had to be something that was said.
Well, that's his 4th, and that might be game over right there. And now Troy Holly will talk to him. Lally free throw, perfect. Can't really surmise what it was. Not going to venture into that because we don't know.
Right.
Second one, that's good. So 52-43, 48 seconds left. We're going to get Coach Gallagher to get down to, it looks like, to talk to Chris Beal and to a star of the game.
You really want me to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, here's a whistle and a out of bounds. They stepped on the baseline. That's a careless turnover by Brother Martin. A rare one with 45.5 seconds left. Quickly the other way, Mitchell. Mitchell to Reese, fumbled, kept it. Top of the circle, he'll throw it up. Bounced out and almost went off the backboard and in, but Lally rebounded it. And Brother Martin up by 9 with the ball in command with 29 seconds left. Here's Hughes. And that's a foul by Mitchell. So Mitchell commits the foul, and that's his 2nd.
Number 3, Dante Mitchell, his 3rd.
So it's actually the 3rd on Mitchell, pardon me. And 2 shots are coming as we get things set up here. We'll get Bill down here in a minute or so, 30 seconds or so, however long it takes. And I guess you could talk to either Wallace or Swilling. Take your pick. Wallace makes the first free throw. His 13th point of the game to go with 8 rebounds. Gilliard is on for Brother Martin. Chatters comes in for Brother Martin. Tomlinson comes in. So Troy Holly knows that this one's probably done, and Chris Beal substitutes. 2nd is good by Wallace. 14 for Vajon, and it's the biggest lead of the game, 54-43. Brother Martin with 22 seconds left. Here's Mitchell, right side Denove. High post Reese, he fumbled it away. He got it back in the corner. Can't find anyone, and he just threw it away. So, Brother Martin about to put this one on ice. No need to shoot again, and the Crusaders will win it by the score of 54-43. I think, although Rummel just got a steal, and that's after the buzzer, I think. That won't count. So 54-43, the final. We'll get the microphone turned on. It's on, and we'll get Bill down to go talk to Coach Beal. And maybe Wallace or Swilling. We'll let him run down, and we'll keep things up here while he does that. So Bill will let you run down. 54-43 final as the victory goes to Brother Martin here tonight as they continue to lead this league. as a result. Going to 8-1 in the league and 21-6 overall. Rummel drops to 15-12, 3-5 in the league. Mike's on, so you can run down right now. So try to get Bill down there to take care of that right away before they get away. So we'll have that, and I'll give you a hand cue and tell you when to go. So that's all good. So Bill will handle that duty. Trey Swilling with 15 points, leading Brother Martin tonight. 14 for Vijon Wallace, who had 8 rebounds. Also for Brother Martin, it was Devon Moore with 4. Bertrand Hughes had 6. Tyler Epps with 4 points. Jeremy Singleton finished with 5 points. TJ Small had 4 points. For the Raiders, Aaron Brule with 18 points to lead the way. Shaheed Reese had 6. Dante Mitchell with 5. Ashkin Stam just 2 points. And Jamar Chase finished with 12 points and 5 rebounds here tonight as Brother Martin continues to lead the Catholic League as they win it here tonight by the score of 54-43 over Rummel. Ken